What if you could control your emotions and face life's toughest challenges with unshakable calm? Today, I'll reveal 10 Stoic secrets to master your mind and transform your life. As Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." These words remind us of a profound truth. The chaos of the world pales in comparison to the power of our own minds to find peace within it. Welcome, fellow seekers of wisdom. I'm here to guide you through the timeless teachings of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy born in the bustling streets of Athens and the grand forums of Rome. This school of thought, crafted by thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, is not just a set of ideas. It's a practical blueprint for emotional mastery and unshakable inner peace. Today, we embark on a transformative journey, uncovering 10 Stoic secrets that can help us conquer our emotions and build a life of purpose and calm. Let's dive into this ancient wisdom, not as mere observers, but as active participants ready to reshape our minds and lives. Together, we'll discover how to stand firm amidst life's storms. As I reflect on the world around us, I see so many caught in the storm of their own emotions. Anger flares up in an instant, a harsh word, a perceived slight, and suddenly we're consumed by rage. Fear creeps in, whispering doubts about the future, paralyzing us before we even take a step. Envy poisons our hearts as we scroll through endless feeds, comparing our quiet struggles to others' curated triumphs. And impatience, oh, how it gnaws at us, making every delay feel like a personal affront. These emotions aren't just fleeting feelings. They disrupt our lives, pulling us away from peace and clarity. I've observed how often we become puppets to our reactions, jerked around by impulses we don't understand or control. A single moment of anger can shatter relationships. A wave of fear can stop us from pursuing dreams. We feel powerless, as if these forces are bigger than us. But what if they aren't? What if the chaos isn't in the world, but in how we respond to it? I've come to see that we're not doomed to be slaves to our emotions. There's a way to reclaim the reins, to stand steady amidst the storm. As we grapple with the chaos of modern emotions, anger that flares up in an instant, fear that paralyzes us, envy that gnaws at our peace, and impatience that drives rash decisions, it's easy to feel like we're at the mercy of our reactions. But what if there's another way? Let me introduce you to the Stoic perspective, a timeless wisdom from ancient Greece and Rome that offers us a path to regain control. One of the greatest Stoic thinkers, Epictetus, taught that our emotions are not merely feelings, they are judgments we make about the world. He believed that we suffer not because of the events themselves, but because of how we interpret them. Take a moment to let that sink in. Epictetus, born a slave, yet rising to become a profound philosopher, urged us to focus on a crucial distinction: what is within our power and what is not. Our thoughts, our attitudes, our responses, These are ours to command. But external circumstances, the actions of others, the whims of fate, these lie beyond our grasp. By recognizing this divide, we begin to see that emotional turmoil often stems from trying to control the uncontrollable. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to redirect our energy inward, to shape our perceptions, and choose rational responses over impulsive reactions. Imagine the freedom in knowing that while the world may rage around you, your inner peace remains untouched. This insight is the foundation of Stoic emotional mastery, a tool as relevant today as it was centuries ago. So how can we harness this wisdom to conquer our emotional storms and build an unbreakable self-mastery? Let's explore that next. Now that we've explored the Stoic view on emotions as judgments within our control, as taught by Epictetus, let's turn to the heart of our journey. How can we harness the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to conquer the emotional turmoil that so often engulfs us? How do we rise above anger, fear, and envy to build a foundation of unbreakable self-mastery? This is the question that Stoic philosophy seeks to answer, offering us tools not just to survive life's challenges, but to thrive amidst them with clarity and calm. As we move forward, we'll uncover the first secret: emotional resilience, a practice of pausing before reacting, inspired by ancient teachings. It starts with something as simple as taking a deep breath, allowing reason to guide us rather than impulse. Let this question linger in your mind. Are you ready to transform your inner chaos into enduring strength? Let me ask you this. How often do we find ourselves swept away by a sudden wave of emotion, reacting before we even have a chance to think? As a student of Stoic philosophy, I've come to understand that this is where our first secret lies: emotional resilience. Inspired by the teachings of Lucius, a wise Stoic thinker, I imagine walking the dusty roads of ancient Rome, we learn the power of the pause. Lucius taught that between any event and our response to it, there is a sacred space, a moment where we can choose how to act. This idea echoes the core of Stoicism. We may not control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. So, how do we cultivate this resilience in our fast-paced, modern lives? It's simpler than you might think. When you feel a surge of frustration or hurt, take a deep breath. Yes, just one slow, deliberate breath. Let it anchor you. In that moment, ask yourself, is this reaction truly necessary? Or can I choose a wiser path? I've tried this myself during heated conversations or unexpected setbacks, like when a project at work falls apart despite my best efforts, and that single pause has often turned chaos into clarity. Emotional resilience isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about giving yourself the freedom to respond rationally instead of being enslaved by impulse. Let this be your first step towards Stoic mastery, a tool to wield in the face of life's storms. And as we build on this foundation, let's turn to another challenge we all face: anger, which the great Seneca called a form of temporary madness. Let's turn now to the second Stoic secret: managing anger. as I reflect on the teachings of Seneca, one of the great Stoic minds of ancient Rome, I'm struck by his piercing insight that anger is nothing short of temporary madness. Think about it. How often have we let a fleeting moment of frustration spiral into words or actions we later regret? Seneca reminds us that anger doesn't just harm others. It poisons our own peace of mind. It's a wildfire, consuming reason if left unchecked. But here's the power of Stoic wisdom. We can douse that flame before it spreads. One practical tool Seneca offers is the exercise of premeditation of evils. This means preparing ourselves mentally for life's inevitable frustrations. Imagine, each morning, taking a quiet moment to foresee potential annoyances. Perhaps a delayed meeting, a sharp word from a colleague, or an unexpected setback. By anticipating these, we strip them of their power to surprise and enrage us. Instead of reacting with heat, we respond with clarity. We remind ourselves, this is part of life, and I choose not to let it master me. Anger, then, becomes a visitor, not a dictator. As we build this habit, we lay another brick in the fortress of self-control, preparing us to face even deeper challenges like fear, which we'll explore next. Let us now turn to the third Stoic secret. Overcoming fear often grips us in moments of uncertainty, whispering doubts about the future or dangers we cannot see. Yet the Stoics teach us a profound truth. Fear is not in the events themselves, but in our judgments about them. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic minds, reminds us to focus solely on what is within our control. Our thoughts, our actions, our responses, and let go of the rest. Imagine a merchant from ancient Carthage preparing to sail across treacherous seas to trade his goods. Storms loom on the horizon, and whispers of pirates unsettle his crew. Instead of succumbing to panic, he steadies himself with a simple Stoic practice. He reflects on what he can control, his ship's preparation, his decisions during the voyage, and accepts that the winds and waves are beyond his power. With this clarity, fear loses its hold, and he sails with calm resolve. This story reveals a timeless lesson. When fear arises, pause and ask, what can I truly control in this moment? Focus there and let the rest fade. Whether it's a looming deadline or an uncertain future, train your mind to anchor itself in the present, in what you can shape with your will. The Stoics believed that this flexibility, shifting our gaze from the uncontrollable to the controllable, is the key to dissolving fear's power over us. Practice this daily, and watch how fear transforms from a master into a mere passerby in the theater of your mind. Let us now turn to the fourth Stoic secret, acceptance. As I reflect on the teachings of Stoicism, I find that one of its most profound lessons is the understanding that much of life unfolds beyond our control. Events happen as part of a natural order, indifferent to our desires or fears. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, often reminded themselves to embrace what comes, not with resignation, but with a clear-eyed acknowledgement of reality. Imagine a storm ripping through a village, houses damaged, plans ruined. A Stoic does not curse the storm. Instead, they see it as nature's course, inevitable and impartial. By accepting this, emotional turmoil lessens and inner peace emerges. How can we apply this wisdom? I've found a simple daily reflection practice to be transformative. Each evening, take a moment to recall a challenge you faced. Ask yourself, could I control this event, or was it destined to happen? Then, reframe your response. This habit shifts your perspective, turning frustration into acceptance. Over time, you'll notice a quiet strength building within, a calm readiness for whatever life brings. This isn't about surrendering to hardship, but about freeing yourself from the burden of resisting what must be. As we carry this mindset forward, we prepare ourselves to tackle emotions like envy, which we'll explore next. As we move deeper into Stoic wisdom, let's uncover the fifth secret: conquering envy. I've often observed how envy creeps into our lives, born from comparison to others, whether it's their success, possessions, or happiness. The Stoics, however, teach us to reject this destructive habit. They remind us that comparing ourselves to others is futile, as it pulls us away from our own path and virtues. Instead, they advocate for gratitude, a powerful antidote to envy. When we focus on what we already have, the mind shifts from scarcity to abundance. Imagine starting a simple habit. Each evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for. It could be a kind word, a moment of peace, or even the strength to face a challenge. This practice, rooted in Stoic thought, trains the mind to see value in our own lives, not in others' highlight reels. By cultivating gratitude, we release envy's hold, finding contentment within ourselves, no matter the external world. Let's now turn to 2 intertwined Stoic virtues: patience and courage. Secrets 6 and 7 on our journey to self-mastery. As I reflect on patience, I see it as the art of understanding life's natural pace. The Stoics teach us that much of our frustration stems from expecting things to unfold on our timeline. But life, like the seasons, moves as it will. Epictetus reminds us to align with this rhythm, to wait without resentment, to endure delays as part of nature's order. When I feel impatience rising, I pause and remind myself, this moment is temporary, and my reaction is my choice. Practically, I found setting small, mindful pauses during rushed days helps, like stepping back for a breath before responding to a delay. This builds a quieter strength. Courage, on the other hand, is the Stoic resolve to face inner fears with rational action. Marcus Aurelius often wrote of acting despite fear, not in its absence. It's not about being fearless, but about recognizing that fear is just a thought we can question. What is the worst that can happen? Is it within my control? I think of courage as stepping into discomfort with clarity. Whether it's speaking a hard truth or embracing uncertainty, A simple Stoic practice I've adopted is to visualize a feared situation beforehand, preparing my mind to act with purpose, not impulse. Together, patience and courage form a powerful duo. One steadies us in waiting, the other propels us through fear. They remind us that emotional mastery isn't passive, it's an active choice, a deliberate stand against the chaos within. Let's carry this balance forward, for true strength lies in both enduring and daring. Let's turn now to the 8th Stoic secret, finding contentment. As I reflect on the teachings of the ancient Stoics, I'm struck by their profound emphasis on simplicity and internal virtues over external desires. They believed true happiness doesn't come from accumulating wealth, status, or possessions, but from cultivating a mind that is at peace with itself. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us that very little is needed to make a happy life. It's all within ourselves, in our way of thinking. This perspective feels almost revolutionary in today's world, where we're constantly bombarded by messages telling us we need more to be enough. But what if we already have everything we need within us? The Stoics urge us to shift our focus inward, to value qualities like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline over material gains. I found that this mindset liberates us from the endless chase for external validation. A practical way to apply this today is to limit our exposure to social media, where comparison often steals our joy. Instead of scrolling through curated lives, take a moment to appreciate what you have. Reflect on your own virtues and small victories. Contentment isn't found in what others possess, but in recognizing the richness of your own inner world. This simple shift in perspective can ground us, reminding us that true wealth lies not in things, but in a mind content with what is. As we carry this lesson forward, we prepare ourselves for the next secret, which will explore adaptability through a powerful story from ancient times. As we build on the Stoic focus on simplicity and inner virtue, let me share with you the 9th secret: embracing adaptability. This is the ability to bend without breaking, to face life's sudden storms with unshaken resolve. Allow me to tell you a tale of a young Stoic disciple named Aelia, who lived in the bustling port of ancient Neapolis, what we now know as Naples. Aelia was a potter, crafting delicate clay vessels for the merchants sailing across the Mediterranean. One fateful day, a violent storm swept through the harbor, destroying her workshop and shattering every piece she had labored over for months. She stood amidst the wreckage, feeling the weight of loss, yet she recalled the teachings of her Stoic mentor. What happens is neither good nor bad. It is our judgment that makes it so. Instead of despairing, Aelia paused. She breathed deeply and chose to see the destruction as a call to create anew. She gathered the broken shards, using them to build stronger, more resilient designs. From that day, she adapted her craft to withstand uncertainty, just as she adapted her mind to embrace change. This story reminds us that adaptability is at the heart of Stoic wisdom. Life will always shift beneath our feet, whether it's a lost job, a failed plan, or an unexpected challenge. The Stoic does not resist what is. They flow with it, finding strength in flexibility. So, when the winds of change blow through your life, remember Alia. Pause, accept, and adapt. Ask yourself, how can I turn this obstacle into a new path? This mindset prepares us for the ultimate goal, which we'll explore next in achieving true self-mastery. Now, let us reach the pinnacle of Stoic philosophy, achieving self-mastery. I stand before this concept not as a distant ideal, but as a tangible reality we can all grasp. Self-mastery is the ultimate liberation, the moment we break free from the chains of impulsive reactions and emotional turmoil. It is about becoming the sovereign of your own mind, unmoved by the storms of life. Imagine yourself standing on a cliff, gazing at a turbulent sea below. The waves crash violently, yet you remain steady, untouched. This is the essence of self-mastery. Your inner fortress remains intact no matter the external chaos. The Stoics teach us that this state is built through daily discipline. Start small. Set aside time each morning to reflect on your goals and potential challenges. Remind yourself, I will not be swayed by fleeting emotions today. Another powerful practice is voluntary discomfort. Choose to forego a small comfort, like skipping a luxurious meal or enduring a cold morning without complaint. This trains your mind to endure, to find strength in restraint. Epictetus once said that true freedom comes from mastering our desires and fears, not from escaping them. By practicing these habits consistently, we forge an unbreakable will. Picture your life a year from now, where anger no longer erupts without cause, where fear no longer paralyzes you, and where envy finds no home in your heart. This is the promise of self-mastery, a life of clarity, purpose, and unshakable calm. It is not a gift bestowed upon us, but a skill we build, brick by brick, through intentional choices every single day. Let this vision guide you. Self-mastery is not the end of emotion, but the beginning of true control over how we experience and express it. As I reflect on these 10 Stoic secrets, I see them not as isolated lessons, but as parts of a unified system, a timeless framework for emotional and mental freedom. From pausing before reacting to embracing adaptability, each principle builds on the others, guiding us towards self-mastery. Imagine a life where anger no longer binds you, where fear loses its grip, and where envy is replaced by gratitude. This is the promise of Stoicism, not to escape life's storms, but to stand firm within them, rooted in reason and inner strength. These teachings, forged in the minds of ancient thinkers like Seneca and Epictetus, are just as powerful today. They remind us that true transformation begins within. By mastering our reactions, we unlock the potential for profound change. Let this system be your guide, a pathway to a calmer, more resilient you, ready to face whatever life brings with unshakable peace. As we come to the end of this journey, let's recap the 10 Stoic secrets that can guide us to conquer our emotions and achieve unbreakable self-mastery. First, emotional resilience teaches us to pause before reacting. Second, managing anger helps us see it as fleeting madness. Third, overcoming fear focuses us on what we control. Fourth, Stoic acceptance aligns us with life's natural flow. Fifth, conquering envy turns our gaze to gratitude. Sixth and seventh, patience and courage build endurance and boldness. Eighth, finding contentment roots us in simplicity. Ninth, embracing adaptability equips us to face sudden change. And 10th, achieving self-mastery crowns our efforts with inner freedom. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, but transforming them into strength. Reflect now on your own challenges. How might these timeless principles reshape your struggles into stepping stones? These secrets, woven together, form a powerful system for emotional and mental liberation, promising profound change if we dare to apply them. Which Stoic secret resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more life-changing wisdom to master your mind and transform your life.